A clash of titans happened yesterday, Monday, April 15th, 2024, in Great Britain. Shout out to our UK audience. George Galloway addressed the British Prime Minister on the Israeli destruction of the Iranian embassy consulate in Damascus, Syria. So, shout out to George Galloway. He's going to bring the fire. I will not interrupt this video because it's pure gold. It is absolutely outstanding. I think 10 out of 10, it's a life-changing video. And boy, oh boy, what I wouldn't give to see some of this action in our own Congress, but because we're ruled over by a bunch of geriatrics, a bunch of senile old senior citizens who are sociopathic warmongers leading us to World War III, I don't think we'll ever see that day. This is something that Squad wishes they can do, but never will because they don't have that heart. They don't got that dog in them. So give it up for George Galloway. Pretty sure all of you have been seeing this video. It's been going viral. So let's go ahead and play it and check it out for everybody to see firsthand.
Mr. Speaker, I knew your father well for a very long time. He was a fine man, and I am sincerely sorry for your loss. There was not one single word in the Prime Minister's statement of condemnation of the Israeli destruction of the Iranian consulate in Damascus, which is the proximate reason for the event everyone is here in concert condemning. He was not even asked to do so by the front bench opposite. Kay Burley is the only person so far to demand that of a government minister. We have no treaty with Israel, at least not one that Parliament has been shown. And the Iranians are not likely to listen to him. When Britain occupied Iran, looted its wealth, and overthrew its one democratic socialist government in my own lifetime.
I know I said I wouldn't pause. I'm sorry. I lied. But that's perfect conjunction. If you remember the earlier segment that I played, we got to remember that there was a government before the Shah of Iran. And that the United Kingdom and the good old USA with big oil from both the UK and America lifted up every single barrier to make sure that that national government in Iran would be removed from power and replace it with somebody who would work with the United States and the UK. Because a democracy can tell another democracy, no, I don't want to do that. We still have to take care of our people. But, oh, that pesky democracy, will of the people, voice of the people, republic values, that gets in the way of good business. You got to get that oil money, right? Let's rewind that again.
Kay Burley is the only person so far to demand that of a government minister. We have no treaty with Israel, at least not one that Parliament has been shown. And the Iranians are not likely to listen to him. When Britain occupied Iran, looted its wealth, and overthrew its one democratic socialist government in my own lifetime.
Well, Mr. Speaker, whatever may have happened a few weeks ago, it is absolutely no justification for launching more than 300 drones and missiles from one sovereign state towards Israel. It's as simple as that. And in the honourable gentleman's question, not once did he condemn that action or indeed the actions of Hamas in the region. There is no equivalence between these things whatsoever, and to suggest otherwise is simply wrong.
Yeah.
Simply wrong. But here's from the BBC, the British Prime Minister, saying, urges restraint after Iran attack on Israel. Now, we already know that Israel is planning to do a counterstrike. They're going to have to. And Iran has already threatened that they are going to do the same. Mr. Prime Minister, I know that you were put into office, not elected. You're put into office to be a very good puppet for the neoliberal establishment system. Yes, you're as always that keen-eyed eagle, keeping an eye on things, as always. But however, let's go ahead and pull up this article here for everybody to witness firsthand. The prime minister said he would speak to his Israeli counterpart, Benjamin Netanyahu, to express solidarity and discuss how to prevent further escalation. Good luck on that, Charlie. You're going to need it. Mr. Sunak told MPs Iran's actions had been reckless and dangerous. Heaven forbid Israel launching, airstrikes in Lebanon and in Syria. That's not reckless. Turning 80, 90%, hell, all of Gaza into a moonscape. That's not reckless. Planning military operations against the city of Rafah, home to 1.3, 1.5 million refugees. That's not reckless. Having your soldiers, post up horrific imagery on TikTok. That's not reckless. Ignoring the calls from the international community saying, hey, stop. You've been doing this for 6 months. 33,000 plus people, and probably the number's much higher, are dead. Men, women, and children are starving. Tehran launched more than 300 drones and missiles at Israel in retaliation for a deadly airstrike on its consulate in Damascus. Israel said 99% of the projectiles had been intercepted with the help from allies, including the U.S., UK, Jordan, Saudi Arabia. No, we don't know. Saudi Arabia is saying that it didn't do it, but you never know. You never know. We live in a strange world today, folks. In a statement in the House of Commons, Mr. Sunak confirmed that the RAF had intercepted a number of Iranian drones and that the Air Force was the best of the best. Okay. He said Iran had once again shown its true colors, and its attack has been intent on further destabilizing the Middle East. Saturday's attack was an act not of the people, but a despotic regime, and it's an emblematic of the dangers that we face today. And he also adding that the threats to stability were growing, not just in the Middle East, but everywhere. Because heaven forbid, Israel isn't also adding fuel to the fire too. It's everybody's contributing to it, Mr. Prime Minister. Mr. Prime Minister. He said the UK was working urgently with our allies to de-escalate the situation. That's not going to happen. Bless your heart. Oh, what a sweet little angel. De-escalate the situation and prevent further bloodshed. We want to see calmer heads prevail. Oh, well, good luck with that. And we're directing all diplomatic efforts to that end. That's not going to happen. Israel said they're going to do it. They're going to do it. What are you going to do, Mr. Prime Minister? Write a strongly urgent letter? Going to form a blue ribbon committee and say, hey, we're forming a committee to address this issue and vote on an issue that must go before another committee so they can vote on it? Turning to the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas, he said nothing that has happened over the last 48 hours affects our position on Gaza. Mr. Sunak said it's Israel's right and indeed its duty to defend the threat from Hamas, but also reiterated his calls for long-term sustainable ceasefire. Even though the people are starving, they're dying of starvation. Labor leader Sir Keir Starmer said he welcomed the prime minister's call for restraint and that the attack left the world a more dangerous place, even though Israel's also helping escalate the danger. It's all around. Everybody's got their hands in the pot, okay? Everybody's in the pot together. He added, if diplomacy takes center stage, good luck. It must be, and it must, then we also need a clear diplomatic premise should not be targeted and attacked. That is the point of principle. The strike on Iran's consulate in Syria on April 1st killed several Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps officers, including a top commander. The Iranian government has accused Israel of carrying out the attack, but Israel has neither confirmed nor deny it. Well, if they're not denying it, it's like, again, did we or did we not? It didn't just blow up on its own. Who has that power and capacity to do that? Earlier, Foreign Secretary Lord Cameron told the BBC and the UK had joined Israel's defense against Iran in order to prevent an escalation of the conflict. He said the attack, which he described as a double defeat for Iran because it had been almost wholly unsuccessful, and also showed where malign influence in the region could have resulted in thousands of casualties, led to a greater escalation had it been successful. Well, there's going to be another strike, and they're going to strike back. It's going all around. He urged it again. Lord Cameron urged Israel to be smart and tough as it considers its response. We already know what its response is going to be: further war, forever wars. If only we had leaders that actually fight for us. If only we had leaders that actually stood up for us. If only we had people that had a backbone, a spine, the willingness to push back against forever war. But we don't have that. Our leaders are not going to stick their necks out for us. And it's not only an American problem, it's an international problem. When you have everyone so connected together because of globalization, neoliberal policies, and of course, the fact that Israel has influence in a lot of governments, not only here in the United States. Let's face it, they have bought our government, but they're everywhere. And there's this call for restraint, but yet Israel ignores it. Good luck, folks. It's going to get worse before it gets better, but at least we can take comfort with the fact that we do have some voices out there speaking out. But it now falls to us to call for a stop to these wars, or we're all doomed. And we won't make it. If we allow our leaders to push us further and further into this war, there will be a point of no return.